6 FIBA. Hold on, coaching staff. Bruh, if I read this article and Stephanie White is on this staff, if Stephanie White is following, stalking Caitlin Clark around team to team, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose it. She better not be on this final coaching roster, bro. I don't got time. I don't have time.
We have officially reached a point in the Caitlin Clark saga where reality has become stranger, darker, and more infuriating than any conspiracy theory the internet could cook up. And tonight, we need to talk about the breaking news coming out of USA Basketball with the seriousness it demands. Because this isn't a roster update. This isn't a coaching tweak. This is the opening scene of a psychological thriller. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA, the woman who dragged the Indiana Fever into relevance despite a season of dysfunction, finally gets her long-awaited shot with Team USA. Finally, a chance to escape the noise, the politics, and the chaos she endured as a rookie and play alongside the best players on the planet. She packs her bags for the World Cup qualifiers. She walks into the gym. The cameras flash. The music hits. And standing there with the clipboard.
I feel like if the girl go to McDonald's, you gonna crawl through the bathroom and say, like, bruh, like, just go. Like, don't you need to go scout some players? It's March. Shouldn't you be at March Madness scouting some players or something? You don't have other things to do? Like, golly, man, we cannot escape this lady.
Here is a cleaner, sharper, more powerful rewrite of your full passage. Same fire, same intensity, but more polished and viral ready. Entities for USA Basketball, Indiana Fever, and Las Vegas Aces players are included correctly per your rules. Stephanie White. Yes, that's Stephanie White. The same coach who mismanaged Caitlin Clark's entire rookie season with the Indiana Fever. The same coach who refused to call timeouts while Clark was getting blitzed by double teams. The same coach who always seemed irritated by the very star power that kept her job alive. And now, she's magically standing courtside for USA Basketball. The host in the source video said it perfectly. It feels like she's stalking her. Caitlin Clark tries to run from a toxic situation, and somehow the toxic situation grew legs and followed her all the way to Puerto Rico. So we have to ask the question, is this a conspiracy? Was Stephanie White placed in Team USA to ensure Caitlin Clark doesn't flourish? Because it sure looks like the old guard found themselves a handler, someone to keep their golden goose on a leash. Let's be real. Stephanie White was not a long-time, decorated figure in the USA Basketball coaching pipeline. She wasn't climbing some natural ladder. But the moment Caitlin Clark becomes the face of the national team, suddenly Stephanie White becomes an essential assistant? Give me a break. This isn't coaching strategy. This is politics and surveillance. It feels like the establishment looked at Caitlin Clark and said, we can't risk her going to Team USA and being unlocked by a new coach. We can't let anyone prove Stephanie White was the problem in Indiana. So what do? They hire Stephanie White. They import the same system Caitlin just escaped. They put the same voice in her ear, the one that frustrated her for 40 straight games. This is the coaching fraternity protecting itself. Imagine being Caitlin Clark. You just endured an entire season with a coach who couldn't maximize you. You got benched for defensive lapses while your team was falling apart. You got zero protection from teams hunting you physically. You're exhausted and ready for a fresh start, ready to learn from Cheryl Reeve, ready to play alongside Aaliyah Boston in a new environment. And then you see Stephanie White standing on the sideline. That's a gut punch. That's a message. You don't get to escape. It tells Caitlin that no matter where she goes, the system will try to cram her back into the same restrictive box. The host made a joke that was funny and horrifying. If Caitlin goes to McDonald's, is Stephanie White going to climb through the drive-thru window too? It's ridiculous, but it captures exactly how suffocating this must feel. Great players need freedom. They need innovators, not controllers. In Indiana, the offense was stuck in mud. The spacing was broken. The ball movement was non-existent, until Caitlin took over and dragged them into relevance by force. Now USA Basketball wants to recreate that same dysfunction? It makes zero basketball sense. Team USA should be about elevating the best talent. Instead, they imported the coach who struggled most with that talent. And let's talk about who benefits. The old guard. Players like Chelsea Gray. Players like Kelsey Plum. Why? Because Stephanie White is one of them. She's safe. She's predictable. She's not walking in and saying, Caitlin Clark should start and run the offense. She's going to repeat the same old script. She's a rookie. She needs to earn it. She needs to improve her defense. And that gives USA Basketball the perfect shield to bench Caitlin Clark without backlash. Mark my words. When Caitlin Clark plays 12 minutes in the first game, Stephanie White will be the one at the podium explaining why it was the right basketball decision. Because that's what she was hired to be. A buffer, a guardrail, a shield for the establishment.
Serve as scout coaches. Bro, I cannot believe bro, Sue Bird, man. This is what I'm saying, bro. Sue Bird is really a op, and like she's a op in disguise. I can see it. Sue Bird is so oppy, bro. Like, why is Kara Lawson the coach? Duke stinks. Her offense is absolute garbage in college. Bro, Duke started out as a top 10 team. Bro, they stink, bro. Don't nobody want to watch them play. How's Carol? It's a few things I got problems with. I don't know how Kara Lawson's the coach. I don't know how Stephanie White is over there.
Like, and for me to be able to do that, I needed to earn her trust. And I need to be honest. Like, I'm a very honest, transparent coach.
Fans aren't overreacting. They're losing their minds because they watched every Indiana Fever game last season. They saw the frustration on Caitlin Clark's face. They saw her begging the bench for adjustments that never came. And now they're being forced to relive that same nightmare in red, white, and blue under USA Basketball. It feels cruel, like a punishment aimed at the people who carried the league's ratings on their backs. Fans wanted to see Caitlin unleashed on the world stage. Instead, they're watching her get contained all over again. USA Basketball could have hired any assistant coach in America. They could have brought in a fresh mind, a new voice, someone who actually elevates her. Instead, they chose the one person guaranteed to bring baggage, tension, and drama, Stephanie White. And there's a darker theory that fans can't ignore. What if Stephanie White is there to quietly sabotage Caitlin's performance? If Caitlin looks average because the staff misuses her, the old guard can say, see, she's not that good. It wasn't the Fever's fault, it was her. That narrative protects veterans, preserves hierarchy, and keeps the power structure intact. But if Caitlin dominates, it exposes everyone who failed to maximize her. So they bring in the cooler, the one coach who knows exactly how to slow her down, disrupt her rhythm, and kill her confidence through the same bad play calling we already saw in Indiana. This isn't just basketball, it's psychological warfare. Caitlin Clark is tough and resilient, but even the strongest players have breaking points. Imagine showing up to your dream job only to find your nightmare boss transferred right alongside you. It kills the joy. It drains the excitement. And maybe that's the point. Maybe they want to break her joy, shrink her spark, and remind her she's just another cog in the machine. Because when Caitlin Clark is joyful and free, she becomes bigger than the program. And USA Basketball has never liked a player becoming bigger than the system. Stephanie White is there to enforce that system, and everyone sees it.
That about her. And I'm also the same kind of psycho that she is in terms of like competitiveness. Now it comes out in different ways. But we